Hi, I'm Roger Mashad. At Franklin Templeton Investments, we believe that citizens need to be informed about the resources that can help make higher education more affordable. That's why we're proud to support programming produced by the Caucus Educational Corporation and their partners in public television.
Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Barnabas Health. Life is better healthy. The New Jersey Education Association, New Jersey's credit unions, banking you can trust. NJ Best, New Jersey's 529 College Savings Plan. Turn a dream into a degree. Fedway Associates, Community Education Centers, and by the Northeast Regional Council of Carpenters. Promotional support provided by The Record, North Jersey's trusted source, and northjersey.com. And by NJ Biz, all business, all New Jersey.
This is One-on-One.
When you first heard that they were doing Charlie Rose and Gayle King, didn't you go, what?
People like laughing at others, so I don't mind if the other is me.
See, you go right into the character. That's what it is.
I'm bringing families together a half an hour each week. Man, I'm doing something special.
And so I do feel successful.
Hi, I'm Steve Adubato. No, I'm just not at any party. This is the Verizon reception right before, we're in Newark, right before the 78th annual Walk to Washington. The New Jersey State Chamber of Commerce has sponsored this for 78 years. The Walk to Washington, along with the Chamber Dinner in Washington, where the Governor Christie, will be speaking along with other dignitaries in the congressional delegation. But for many, many years, Verizon has been holding this reception here in Newark, and all the movers and shakers up in northern New Jersey come here right before they get on the train. So we had the opportunity to speak to business leaders, elected officials, nonprofit leaders, people in the education community, all sorts of folks, right before we get on the train here in Newark and talk to other folks. So take a look at some of the folks we talked to, not only about why they get on this train ride to Washington, but also about some of the key issues that they feel the state of New Jersey is facing in the business community, the economic issues, and the issues that all of us in New Jersey are facing for the 78th annual train ride to Washington. Mr. Mayor, I have to ask you, you just told me before this interview, this is the first time you're getting on the Chamber train to Washington?
Well, I've been to this breakfast several times. I've never actually rode on the train. I don't think I'm going to do it today either. I have a bunch of things to do this evening, and I don't think we can get back in time for me to go to those events. But it's an incredible opportunity for elected officials here in the state of New Jersey to mix with each other, to politic on the way down to D.C.
Politic?
Yeah, of course. You can't get a bunch of politicians on the train and don't talk about politics. So that's going to be there. A lot of businesses get to intermingle and talk about great ideas they want to bring to different municipalities. So it's a great opportunity for a lot of folks, and I'm sorry I'm missing it this year.
Ras Baraka, as the mayor of Newark, faces a whole range of challenges, but as he often talks about those challenges, he sees them as opportunities. So let me ask you this. Opportunities like this, you see so many business leaders and others coming into here, into Newark. We're at the Verizon reception. What opportunities are there for you to continue to build upon these relationships with the business community while you're still very much concerned about those who may not be involved in the business community, but the folks who elected you, the rank and file, if you will, the voters? Complex question, I know, this early in the morning.
Yeah, man, I didn't have my breakfast either. But the reality is, the business community is a part of the larger community, and we need business to help to grow the economy, to put people to work, to come up with creative and innovative ideas to make the cities better than they are now. And so these kinds of opportunities are good ideas for businesses, for business leaders, for politicians to get together and talk about some synergistic ways they can make things happen in these communities where they live.
Yeah. We're going to be talking to Mayor Fulop from Jersey City in just a few minutes. You and the mayor have really, talk about synergy, you've collaborated on a lot of things. Why is that? Because I haven't seen that very often between Newark and Jersey City. I find that very interesting and very positive.
Yeah, I mean, the two biggest cities in the state of New Jersey. We have.
Wait, he says he's going to be bigger soon. He keeps saying that, and he keeps saying he knows you're not going to be happy about that.
First of all, everybody wants to be a millionaire, but at the end of the day, we're both in a kind of positive competition to grow our communities and cities. And if Jersey City grows, it benefits Newark. And if
How's that?
if jobs and development come to Jersey City, everybody in Newark doesn't work in Newark. So if growth comes to the region, my city benefits. Folks that live here begin to move to Jersey City and work there and do those things, and vice versa. If industry comes to Newark and we grow in Newark, people in Jersey City take that train and work in Newark. They eat and play in Newark. So the region is benefiting, the north region of the state benefits if either one of these cities grow.
Final question, Mr. Mayor. We're doing a series called Lessons in Leadership, which you've dealt with a lot. 2 questions. Number 1, the greatest leadership lesson that you have learned, both not just as an elected official, but also as a principal of Central High School, greatest leadership lesson that you've learned over the years would be leadership lesson.
You can't pull people, you got to convince them. And the reality is, a lot of times you think you have these great ideas that you've discovered fire, and people aren't listening to you, so either they're crazy or they don't see what you see. But the reality is you have to bring people along with you. You can't push them, you can't pull them, you have to convince them that what you have is the right thing. And I think eventually that helps them work harder for you than pushing them and pulling them would have gotten them to do.
One more. Greatest leadership, I know it's early, greatest leadership challenge.
Well, you have to surround yourself with people that are not only smart, but loyal, right? Because sometimes you get very smart people that are not too loyal, and you got a couple of loyal people that may not be too smart. So
Is that balance?
you got to get that balance of both around you, and it's difficult sometimes, but you have to keep doing it and keep doing it until you get the right mix of people around you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for being so gracious this early in the morning, and also the interview that you did with us at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center, which people are still talking about. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
We're here with the mayor of Jersey City, Steve Phillip. We've interviewed him in the studio many times, but we are here at the Verizon reception ready to go on the 78th annual. It's called the Walk to Washington. Have you walked this train before?
So I went on this last year. It's, I think an outsider would say it's a pretty dumb idea when you think about it. You get 500 people on a train, and what's the value? But last year it was good networking for us. I met a lot of great people, and it's been helpful. So we'll do it again.
Okay, now the mayor likes mass transit that moves quickly, because path back and forth, New York, Jersey City, likes things to move. This train doesn't move so fast.
So it's 13 cars. You really can't move. It's difficult to navigate.
Does it affect your social media activities?
I do not get involved in any social media once the day starts here. So this is the end of the social media component for me. So.
Top 3 things happening in Jersey City today from an economic and business point of view. Go.
So our unemployment rate, our taxes are down, our unemployment rate is down, our credit rating is up. We're building massive buildings. We've got the most diverse city in the entire country, and it's a great place to live. So I give you 6.
So here's the thing. What's the deal with the unemployment rate? I don't understand that. Lower than what?
So our unemployment rate has dropped faster than the country, faster than the state, faster than any city in the region, including New York City. So I think we're really doing it right. We've got a great team on the council, and I'd like to think that some of the policies we're doing have made an impact.
And the whole thing about the tallest building, what is that?
We've been building now 60 stories, 70 stories. We just approved 95 stories. It'll be the largest building in North America outside of New York City. Literally, it'll dominate the skyline, and it'll be something that New Jersey people can be proud of. When you come into the harbor there, you'll see the World Trade Center on one side, and you'll see really a beautiful skyline on the New Jersey side. So it's a great thing.
The diversity piece, most diverse community, what does that mean?
So this was actually just recognized last week that they did a survey of every major community or city in the country. Look, we're city immigrants. It used to be Italians and Irish, and now it's people from South America and Africa and Asia, and still people come by the Statue of Liberty, settle in Jersey City. Some of them work in New York. New York is very expensive, so it's a great place for us, for people who want to capture the American dream.
Mayor, the #1 business and economic challenge Jersey City faces, that on a trip like this, the chamber trip to Washington, the #1 issue that you will be talking to business leaders about, Washington members of the congressional delegation, about the #1 business issue that, while things are going well in Jersey City, the #1 concern you have is?
the number one concern that I try to get my arms around here is talking to some of the state legislators and understanding what the impact is of a lot of the bigger issues they have coming down the pike. So you talk about the pension situation, and then of course the TTF. And
Transportation Trust Fund?
Right. And
how does that affect Jersey City?
Because depending on how the state structures their budget this year is going to have an impact on municipal aid and charity care. And that'll impact our tax structure. So we could do everything right from a Jersey City standpoint, and because of Trenton, it could have an adverse impact for us. So we try to get a glimpse of what they're thinking, and this is a good opportunity to do it.
Mr. Mayor, again, we talked to Ras Baraka, the mayor of the great city of Newark, Brick City, who has the largest population, and I told him what you said, that you were on his heels, and he said there was healthy competition between the two of you, and that what's good for Jersey City is good for Newark. Do you agree? Newark, do you agree?
So I do agree, and I love the fact that he's acknowledging that we are right there, and that's taken a while. I think by this time next year, he'll be acknowledging the fact that we're bigger, and they won't be our big brother anymore. He'll be looking at us in that way. But it's good for the whole region. Raz is working hard there, and it's been a year almost he's been in office, and it's great to have a good partner there. We talk a lot about different urban issues.
Final question. We're doing a series called Lessons in Leadership. Yeah. Number one leadership lesson you have learned, not only in public life, but also in the military. You're in the military as well. Number one leadership lesson you've learned?
I think being able to acknowledge when you make a mistake and not let pride get in your way. And I think all too often, elected leaders and business leaders get strident in positions and refuse to acknowledge that they might be wrong about something and to reverse it, because it's pretty hard to do. And I've had to do it a couple times. It's embarrassing, but you get better for it, I think.
Biggest leadership challenge?
Biggest leadership challenge?
Admitting those mistakes?
Yeah, well, no, I think biggest leadership challenge is massive organizations with a lot of different interests from a lot of different people, and figuring out how to navigate that stuff takes a little bit of time, and I'm still learning every day that component of it.
Thank you, Mayor.
No problem, thank you.
To see more one-on-one with Steve Adubato programs, visit us online at steveadubato.org. If you would like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato PhD, and follow us on Twitter at Steve Adubato.
Alicia, I have to ask you, this is your party. This is the Verizon party, and everyone said they had to be here. Why is that?
It is the place to be. First of all, Steve, thank you so much for being here. This is an enormously exciting day, an exciting event. Verizon, for the 15th year in a row, has kicked off the historic Walk to Washington, which has been taking place since the mid-1930s. Right here assembled in this room, we have some of those most extraordinary business leaders, policy leaders, nonprofit leaders. We're in a room full of fabulous New Jerseyans who care deeply about the state, as does Verizon. As you know, I spent most of my career in public service. I left the public sector about a year and a half ago to join Verizon. There is no company that I would have left public service for other than Verizon. Yes, this is a place to be.
Good morning in Newark.
Oh, it's a fabulous morning in Newark. I'm looking forward to talking with the mayor later today.
We just interviewed him. He was in good spirits.
Oh, you know what? Newark is coming back. Newark is back, and I'm really excited about Verizon's presence here. As you know, we are undertaking an extraordinary project here in Newark.
Talk about that.
We're building out the Fios network. Right here in the city of Newark, New Jersey's largest city. We've done that obviously in more than 300 municipalities across the state. One of the things that is so exciting about today and everybody being gathered is more people will know about what a great partner Verizon is. Our networks, our technology, our people, our partnership with philanthropic organizations. We're so central to the economic strength and well-being of the state. And I think the fact that so many people are here to kick off the Walk to Washington at the Verizon-sponsored breakfast is a testament to that.
I'll put you on the spot. You ready?
Yes.
You ready?
Yes.
All right. See, Alicia has held a whole range of positions, high-level positions on the public and now on the private sector side. We're doing a series called Lessons in Leadership. Ready?
Yes.
2 questions. The number one, most significant, if you will, the biggest leadership lesson you have learned in your few years as a leader, number one leadership lesson is?
You have to be true to yourself. You have to be true to yourself. You have to be true to yourself, your values and principles, because if you lose that, what's the point? What's the point? So everybody faces challenges. Companies face challenges. Individuals face challenges. Leaders, families face challenges. But if you're true to yourself, you're true to your values and your principles, that enables you to weather the storm. That enables you to figure out, well, what is a path forward to deal with the challenges in front of me, and what's the path forward to deal with the extraordinary opportunities that are in front of me. That, again, is one of the reasons why I'm so excited to be at Verizon, because we have a fearless leader who is a visionary leader in Lowell McAdam, and so many of my Verizon colleagues are here today and really reflect what I just shared with you.
Number one leadership challenge.
You know, harnessing and supporting the extraordinary talent on my team, and I know my colleagues across the company feel the same way. They're choosing to work for our company that chooses to call New Jersey home, with 15,000 employees across the state, 3,000 plus at Basking Ridge alone. And it's a nice problem to have, but it's something that I personally constantly strive to do. I have extraordinary women and men that I am so proud to call members of my team, who work tirelessly every day. They're a great team, and obviously one of the things that we're focused on as a team is trying to encourage even more of our policymakers, given the extraordinarily competitive landscape, communications landscape, to get more of our policymakers to modify our laws so it's a level playing field.
Number one issue in the telecommunications field today is?
An unlevel playing field. Here we are in the state, we're choosing to call New Jersey home, 15,000 employees, billions of dollars of investment in our wireline and wireless networks in the last few years alone, but we are still constrained by too many unnecessary regulatory burdens that our competitors who don't call New Jersey home aren't constrained by. That's simply not fair, it's not right. Most importantly, it's not in the best interest of New Jersey, and we've really got to change that. Fortunately, there are some very thoughtful policymakers in New Jersey who understand that, and we look forward to continuing to work in partnership with them.
Thanks, Leisha.
Thank you, Steve.
We were outside the Verizon reception. The program is going on right now, but we were lucky enough to get the Speaker of the House, the Speaker of the Assembly, Vincent Prieto. We're about to go on the train, the 78th annual walk to Washington, the chamber ride and the dinner. What's this like for you?
Well, it's always a great event. Every year is a little bit different, but it's a time to, you network, a lot of people you get to see, hear a lot of issues, the business community, and I think it's a great tradition, and it's a thing we all should be some part of it. This reception in the morning it's exceptional. You see a lot of friends from old and a lot of new friends that you meet. So it's a great event, and I think somebody has to do it at least once.
But you've done it more than once. Mr. Speaker, the top business issues that you see facing the state are?
Well, our economy has not rebounded back as other states, and we have to, grow our economy, and it starts with businesses. We have to be very mindful of businesses. We have to retain businesses here, but we also have to attract businesses to the state of New Jersey. So it's a fine line that we have to, walk, because at the end of the day, we want to do the good work of the people of the state of New Jersey, the middle class, and protect them. But we have to be that balance that we don't hurt businesses, because they're normally the employers. So we need to listen to them and trying to see how we can, balance the equation.
Are business folks actually lobbying you on this trip?
You know what? You'll get different issues and different bills and things. So yeah, it's somewhat a little bit of everything, a little bit of pleasure and a little bit of business. So people, a lot of pleasantries, but then they'll get down and say, listen, there's this bill that's good, there's this bill that's not good. So, you always listen, and then you'll circle back and look at it again.
Final question. We're doing a series called Lessons in Leadership, all right? You understand leadership from a governmental point of view, but also you're a businessman, right? Number one leadership lesson that you've learned over the years in your life is?
Leadership, you have to also listen. And it's not about what you want all the time. You have to, take a step back and listen, and then make the educated decisions to be able to lead and do what the people put you in these places for.
Biggest leadership challenge?
Right now is trying to, balance the state budget and, the challenges we have. We have to do.
Was that difficult?
It has been since I'm here and since I was the former budget chairman. It's been difficult times balancing transportation trust fund, trying to get that done. To me, it's a passion. It's very important for me, and it's just been difficult times. I wish that we had a revenue stream that just would come out of nowhere, and we say, oh my God.
Money falling from the sky?
Money falling from the sky or a money tree or something, but that's not something that's going to be factual. So we have to see how we can do it ourselves, grow our economy, and do the good things.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
It's my pleasure always, Steve.
To see more one-on-one with Steve Adubato programs, visit us online at steveadubato.org. If you would like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato PhD and follow us on Twitter at Steve Adubato.
We're here with Assemblyman John Bramnick. Assemblyman, you are the Assembly Minority Leader. You hope to change that, clearly, soon. Yes. 78th annual Chamber trip to Trenton and the dinner. How many trips have you gone on?
13. Since I've been in the legislature, every year I've come down on the train.
Why do you do this?
Well, normally you don't have a lot of time to talk to someone. Like you and I may meet quickly at a cocktail party or some.
We don't meet at a cocktail party. We meet in the studio. We're public broadcasting. We do not go to cocktail parties and kibitz with legislators.
We had cocktails at the studio. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. So you actually are on a train, so you really can't get off. It'd be dangerous. So you have a conversation that lasts longer than you would normally have in any other circumstance. And you know that because every time someone sees you, they want to bend your ear, they want to talk to you because you're a TV star. How much time can you give to someone? But you're on the train, you got to.
Is it real business?
Well, business is a combination of relationships, business, and kind of social interaction. And when do you do real business? When you're relaxed, you have time to talk. So absolutely, getting to know each other and trust each other is the key to doing business.
Interesting question I want to ask you. We've been asking people about leadership. We started a series called Lessons in Leadership. I want to ask you something. In business, because you're a lawyer and you're a legislative leader, the number one leadership lesson that you've learned in public and private life would be?
Respect everyone. And when someone asks you to do something or you say you're going to do something, do it. It's put the other person first and they will respect you.
Biggest leadership challenge? Tough one, right?
Biggest leadership challenge is not to lose your patience. Remember that you have to think of the other person's perspective, where they're coming from. It's not all about you. And sometimes everyone forgets that.
In the legislature?
In life generally. But it's really important because, as my father used to say, if you looked at all your friends too closely, you wouldn't have any friends. So I think you got to give everybody the benefit of the doubt and try to help people all the time. And I have to tell you, that's the best lesson I've ever learned.
Thank you, Assemblyman.
Sure. Thank you, Steve.
We're here with Essex County Sheriff Armando Fontoura, who has been on this chamber trip, this train to, I was going to say Trenton, boy. He's been to Washington many times, right?
Quite a few times, yeah. From maybe over 20 years ago.
How's it changed, Armando?
I think it's a good trip because you get an opportunity to meet folks who are the players, who are people that you get to remind to understand that public safety is the number one priority. Without public safety, nothing else works. You get to meet with the business leaders who support we need desperately, and of course the elected officials to remind them how important public safety is. So it's an opportunity that we don't want to miss.
By the way, we're actually here at the Verizon. This is the traditional Verizon breakfast that happens before the chamber train ride and the dinner, the 78th annual dinner in Washington, the train ride to Washington. So this is a historic event. Verizon brings everyone together. Business, labor, political community, nonprofit community, education community. Is there something about New Jersey and New Jerseyans, Armando?
Oh yeah, definitely something about New Jersey.
Us?
New Jersey is New Jersey. Everywhere you go, people say, "Yeah, you're from Jersey. I'm from Jersey." What about it?
What's the what about it? Why does the last what about it? Nobody asked what about. Why do we do that?
Because we're from Jersey, man. You know, you have a problem with that? Yeah, we're from Jersey. We love Jersey. We're very proud to be from Jersey.
See, it's interesting because I'm going to ask you this, because this bit of chip, if you will, on our shoulder, I got to ask you. We're asking people about leadership. I got to do this. In all the years in law enforcement, in public life, the number one leadership lesson you've learned is
to be honest with people. To be honest with people and be responsive to people. But also friendly, fair, and firm by all means.
Biggest leadership challenge.
Correct. You have to make sure that people understand that you're going to do the right thing, but you're going to do it in a no-nonsense approach, the Jersey way.
The Jersey way. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Thank you.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence, and 13 for WNET. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Barnabas Health, the New Jersey Education Association, New Jersey's credit unions, NJ Best, Fedway Associates, Community Education Centers, the Northeast Regional Council of Carpenters. And by these public-spirited organizations committed to informing New Jersey citizens about the issues that matter.
At Barnabas Health, nothing is more important than your health. So we've assembled an enormous array of resources to heal those in need of care. Doctors, nurses, amazing technology. Yet for all we do to heal the sick, we do as much to strengthen the healthy, with innovative programs designed in the hope that you won't need our extraordinary medical care in the first place. Barnabas Health. Life is better healthy.